Introduce yourself.
Sir, I am Pawan Kumar from Raurkela in Sundargarh district. I have graduated from Veer Surendra Sai University of Technology, Burla in Mechanical Engineering, and after that I have been working in Oil and Natural Gas Corporation, Mumbai.
So what are your optional subjects?
Sir, my optional subjects are Geography and Political Science.
Geography and
Political Science.
So basically you are a student of engineering.
Yes, sir.
That too mechanical engineering.
Mechanical Engineering.
Will you please define what is kinetic energy?
Sir, kinetic energy is energy due to the motion of a subject. Because of that, the static, that is the potential energy, it gets converted into the motion, and the formula can be defined as half mass into velocity square.
So what is the difference between the speed and velocity?
Sir, speed is sir, both are basically same in magnitude, but velocity also it depends on the direction the subject.
But what is speed?
Sir, speed is the distance covered per unit time.
Yes.
Distance
Given time.
that is in a yeah. Yes, sir.
Then you must have read about the operation of cranes.
Operation of?
Cranes.
Yes, sir.
So how many types of cranes are there?
Sir, I am not aware of the different types.
Yes, different types of cranes. The working principle of the crane.
Crane.
Crane, C-R-A-N-E, crane.
Cranes. Sir, I am not aware of all the different types.
But you know the cranes.
Yeah, I know about the cranes.
Yes. Sir, how the cranes run? Where from that crane gets the energy?
Sir, it can get energy from pneumatically also, or it can get energy hydraulically also. It can also get energy electrically. So what happens is that for example, we take into account the pneumatic cranes. What happens that all these air it actuates. There are different type of actuators. So it actuates, and these different machinery components that gets activated. So basically it gets converted into this mechanical. It gets converted into power. And in crane, another thing in crane, what happens that we lift objects depending on the different angles. We lift objects depend on the capacity. So there are different blocks of the cranes. Like there are small blocks, big blocks, different on the rating capacity. So these lifts we lift depending on that capacity.
That is have you got any idea of trans-trailer?
Trans-trailer? No, sir. Sorry, sir.
Those are the high power cranes used for lifting of the big boxes.
Container boxes.
Container, big boxes. So since you know containers, the is the most advanced crane for lifting the containers from the earth or from the container yard, and then place it over the ship in a systematic way.
Yes, sir.
That's why that's very famous. That is used for speedily loading and unloading of the containers.
Yes, sir.
Then what is the work of the operational system of oval?
This oven for cooking purpose.
No, that is oven for the industrial. I am speaking industrial oven, where the energy is generated, where electricity is not available. So there, so the oven is done. So in oven, which materials are used for the generation of the power? Oven means the heat is generated.
Heat is generated.
Oven is just a container. It's a big container like thing. As far as mechanical engineering is concerned.
Sir, different depending on different type of industries, different type of ovens are used. Like in steel industries, these coke ovens are used. Like from coke, they generate power.
What type of coke is used?
So it is having high amount of carbon, more than 90.
Higher type of charcoal which has got
Large calorific.
higher oxidation.
Yeah, large calorific value.
Power.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between the cooking coal and the thermal coal?
Sir, thermal coal has got a higher ash content, and also a higher amount of pollutants like sulfur. So it can be used for generating electricity on a large scale, but for very precise purpose like making steel, it is not used, and it is mixed with coking coal.
Cooking coal has got is mostly used in the steel plants.
Yes, it is used in a steel plant.
It has got high oxidation power.
High oxidation
less
power.
ash content.
Yes, less ash content and less
generation of the heat
less amount of sulfur and other pollutants.
So you had geography as a optional subject.
Yes, geography is optional subject. Geography and PSI, political science and international relations.
Political science and international relations.
Yes, sir.
So, will you please define that what is mean standard time?
Mean standard time of a place, sir, it can be.
There is a famous place from which this mean time is calculated.
Yes, sir. It is a place in England. It is called Greenwich, and the time is calculated from that place.
How it is calculated?
Like from it starts from the east towards the west. This time, for example, in India, it is calculated as this Greenwich Mean Standard Time plus 5.5 hours. Likewise, it goes increasing towards the west, depending due to this rotation of Earth from west to east. It is calculated.
What is the importance of longitude and latitude in geography?
Sir, we can know about by dividing into longitude and latitude. We can know about different like this longitude. It defines time. Like this Greenwich Mean Standard Time, and depending on the longitude, it is defined. In latitude, we can know about the weather of a place, the climate of a place, like different type of seasons, from equatorial type of region to subtropical region to temperate region to polar region on latitude.
What is hemisphere?
Hemisphere is the semi-circular. This one Earth is divided into two equal parts, one in the northern hemisphere and one in the south.
I am interested to know the definition of hemisphere. Not northern, southern, that is everything. How will define the hemisphere?
So hemisphere is basically the half of the sphere, like half area of the sphere.
Okay. So,
The Earth is considered to be spherical in shape, so it's, divided into hemispheres.
so how many seas are there?
So there are five seas, five. There are five oceans, and numerous seas are there. There are five oceans.
Yes, 5 oceans.
Uh,
So, what is the difference between an ocean and sea?
Sir, ocean is so these five oceans, they are defined due to their larger size, and like Pacific Ocean, Atlantic, Indian, Arctic, Antarctic. They are very large in size, and seas can be smaller, and the seas can be within land also, like Aral Sea, Aral Sea, and all. They are basically within continent also, but oceans are basically they are adjoint, means they are continuous in shape, and they occupy a very large area.
Are all oceans, they are interconnected?
Yes, all oceans are interconnected.
Then where is the existence of sea in it?
There are like marginal seas are there, means when some land causes an when the land comes between oceans or different type of oceans, or within ocean also land comes, then it creates seas.
How the water line is determined? This is the line. It is the line of say a particular sea. how it is demarcated?
Sir, which like in any
Suppose Arabian Sea.
Arabian Sea.
So where the Arabian Sea starts and where it ends, how it is defined?
Sir, it is so there are different conventions, like there is convention on the laws.
Convention is all right. Convention gives the right of the country to
Yes, yes.
use it, and other aspects are there. But my point is how to say, how to earmark. How to earmark that this is the water line which demarcated from the ocean, from the sea.
Sir, it basically depends on the continental shelf.
It is latitude and longitude. Very simple. It is defined this much of latitude.
Latitude and longitude.
So at that point, it is the Arabian Sea starts, and it is differentiated from other water body.
Yes, sir.
It's a very simple thing.
Thank you, sir.
So what
Yes,
is
sir.
the importance of cultural setting in geography?
Sir, cultural setting has got a very integral and indispensable part in geography. From the so this human geography, it started from this theme only, these cultural traits, from the times of this French school, this Vidal law. During this French school of geography, it started this cultural setting. Like
What are the
when
major components which are taken into consideration while determining the cultural settings?
Sir, cultural setting, this population, one of the aspect is population,
Right.
then literacy rate, the sex ratio, this female is to male sex ratio, and sir, all this health,
Flora and fauna,
also,
and religion,
religion,
cultural,
this cultural, this food habits, all these different type of tribes.
Yes. You should
Agriculture also, agriculture like the different parts of the
those are
world.
Those are the essential parts of the cultural setting.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then will you please mention two great political thinkers of the world and India?
Sir, in world, two of the main political thinkers are Plato and Aristotle. All political philosophy is based on footprints of Plato and Aristotle. From India, two great political thinkers are Kautilya and Mahatma Gandhi. There are numerous political thinkers, but Kautilya, Mahatma Gandhi, Ambedkar
What is the role of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel?
Sir, Sardar
As far as
Vallabhbhai.
the Indian politics is concerned.
Sir, he had played a great role in the struggle for independence, starting from non-cooperation movement to Bardoli Satyagraha, then civil disobedience movement, Quit India movement, and the lead up to the freedom. And then he played a great role in the Constituent Assembly. And after that, in Constituent Assembly, when the integration of state happens,
What is his major role
integration.
after the independence of India?
So this integration of states, like we had 548 princely states, and when British at the lead up to the independence, when British left, then they had the intention that India, like the princely states, had to join. They can be independent or they can join India or Pakistan. But because of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, all the states, except 3 states, were peacefully integrated into the Indian Union. And around 548 states were there, and they were very peacefully integrated, except 3 states. And also he prevented the balkanization of India. Like what happened in Balkan states, like all states were divided, that was prevented in India because of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel only. Because of his careful policy and diplomacy, he could prevent balkanization.
Why he was not successful in case of Jammu and Kashmir?
Sir, Jammu and Kashmir, we cannot say, sir, he was not successful. Jammu and Kashmir had a different polity. In because all the states, there was signing of pact, but in Jammu and Kashmir there was instrument of accession, except 3, that is international policy, defense, communication. The instrument of accession was signed, and these both only 3 were to be with accordance to India, but others were to be carried out by a state only. So what happened is that Pakistan, these Pakistan militants, they attacked Jammu and Kashmir, and because of that they had to sign this. And after that, due to different
Who was the Hindu king of Jammu and Kashmir at that time?
Sir, it was ruled by Dogra dynasty. Raja Hari Singh was the Hindu king.
Was he positive?
No, sir.
Accepting the
He was not positive, but because of compulsion of this attack, he had to compulsory sign it to prevent this. So after that, there was different polity after coming of Sheikh Abdullah, and due to there was also intervention of Western powers. There was also due to UN intervention was also there. So the issue became a territorial dispute. Before that, the issue was not territorial dispute. So due to UN intervention, it became a territorial issue.
What is the position of India as far as the international relations are concerned?
India, sir, has become a very assertive recently in
So
international.
after independence, India had to face so many problems.
Yes, sir. India has to.
With the neighboring countries and international pressure, everything.
Yes, sir.
Considering all such phases, now we are at a phase having relations with different countries of the world. So how do you appreciate it? It is positive, or in your opinion it is negative, or we are not successful for maintaining the proper relations or the international relationships as that of previous.
Sir, I can consider it positive, sir, because after independence, India's position was not that good. Like India was one of the poorest country with very low levels of literacy, very low levels of economic development, with in agriculture, in industries, in services, but due to our great freedom fighters and the makers of modern India, this diplomacy it got improved, and India also didn't align with any major powers like USA and USSR. India followed non-aligned movement, and India used to alter its diplomatic relation to its own advantage by not aligning militarily, but depending on different type of situations. Currently also India is following this principle only. India is multi-aligning with different powers. Like we have moved from look east policy to act east policy. We are also following Gujarat doctrine, that is neighborhood first policy. We are aligning with different neighborhood. Currently, due to this intervention of China in our neighborhood, it has caused some problem. But India is trying in all its way, in some external sector initiative like ITEC, and also line of credit India is providing to neighborhood countries, and also some major communication where like the Kala then multimodal highway, this trilateral highway, this BBIN initiative, this BIMSTEC initiative. So India is aligning with all these countries. Also India militarily, India is aligning with USA, with USSR, with Israel. India is definiting its policy in West Asia, also with Arab countries, Iran, Israel. So India is maintaining positive relation with all these countries without acrimony towards anyone. So depending on own advantage.
Recently there was agreement between United States and China on particular issue. Have you got an idea?
Sir, I know about this trade tariffs.
Yes. Yes, very good. Very good.
Yes, sir. There was some time period recently, and for this time period, there is no.
Is it 90 days?
Sir, I don't remember the exact time period. I think it is some 30 days. No, not 60 days, like that.
Okay.
I don't remember.
So
I just read.
By that way, the trade in between US and China will develop.
Yes, sir. It has always been.
Is India going to be affected by this?
Yes, sir. India is surely going to be affected by this, because any trade tariffs, it will indirectly, if not directly, it will indirectly affect India, because these products will be diverted, and
do you think that US is a good market for Indian traders?
USSR, we have a trade surplus with US, means US. In China we have trade deficit, but with US we have a trade surplus. So India will be indirectly affected by this. So it is a positive sign. What happened is a positive sign, and this trade wars, India is following a rule-based policy. Like India is following a world order which is rule-based, and internationally India is not encouraging excuse me, sir. India is not encouraging a order which is restrictionary. India is allowing rule-based order, so it is going to be positive, sir.
Okay. So
Why have you chosen civil service as a career?
Sir, basically, sir, two basic purpose. The civil service is going to give diversity of challenges, that different type of challenges that a public servant has to face in society, and it will surely give a lot of opportunities. And also, second thing is it will make me directly impact people due to varied amount of opportunities in public policy.
Okay. So, and your hobbies are you are playing basketball, cricket, and badminton.
Badminton,
So you
sir.
like to play all the type of sports.
Yes, sir. I like to play sports, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me about the hockey tournament which is going on now? What is the name of the hockey tournament?
So it's Hockey World Cup, and it started in 28 November, and it will the final is on 16 December.
16 December.
16 December.
Okay. So coming to some of the news, nationwide news. So are you abreast? Are you reading the news?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me, there are some states, okay, which are going for their assembly elections. Right. What are the states?
Sir, Mizoram, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan.
Then one in central India.
Madhya Pradesh.
Madhya Pradesh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, do you know in the process of the election for assembly or for Lok Sabha, if a candidate does not get minimum what, okay, percentage of votes, he has to lose his deposit?
It's a 10% of the votes.
10%
10% of the vote.
total.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So you are from which? You are from Sundargarh.
Sundargarh district, sir.
Okay. So your district is very famous for hockey.
Yes, sir.
Many hockey. So you tell me any 3-4 important hockey players who have played at the national level from Sundargarh.
Sir, our ex captain of Indian hockey team, Dilip Tirki sir, and Mr. Ignesh Tirki, and current hockey player Mr. Lakra, and so these are three hockey players that I remember.
So what is the reason that from Sundargarh district so many hockey players are emerging who are playing at the national level? But any special arrangement has been done for them, or what is that in the district, so that more and more people, many people are coming from Sundargarh?
Sir, Sundargarh has got starting from the starting, it has got a lot of infrastructure facilities and or opportunities. So like many industries are there, like Rourkela Steel Plant, and all are encouraging sports as a part of corporate social responsibility. Like Sundargarh has got this at that time, it has got the second biggest AstroTurf in India in this ISPA Stadium Rourkela. So, and like previously it was played on open fields, now hockey is played on AstroTurf. So it has encouraged a lot, and lot of investment is part of CSR activities. So hockey is pretty much a sports like everyone wants to play hockey, especially in Sundargarh district.
Okay, fine. Who is the captain of the Indian hockey team?
Sir, currently Mr. Manpreet Singh is the captain of Indian hockey team.
Indian hockey team. Okay. What about women's hockey? Can you name some women hockey players?
Yes, sir. Miss Rani Rampal, she is captain of women's hockey team.
Okay. So basketball is also a sports you have written. So do you watch which is the most famous basketball league of the world?
Sir, NBL.
NBA. What is that?
Sir, NBL is National Basketball League of USA, and it is the most famous basketball league. All great international players, they play in NBL.
What is the status of basketball in India?
Sir, in India, it has not got that much opportunity and not much investment, and also these basketball courts are not that good in India, and it has lagged behind. Like sports like cricket, hockey, basketball has lagged behind.
Okay. And basketball, can you two or three great players internationally, can you tell me?
Sir, Michael Jordan and sir, again remember Michael Jordan only.
Okay. So,
Actually, I don't watch basketball.
hmm,
I only play, sir.
okay, play that. Okay. So, what is dribbling?
Sir, dribbling is in between passing of the basketball. What players do? Players run with the basketball in their hand. So that is called dribbling.
Okay, that is dribbling.
This dribbling.
And what is, you have to dribble the ball, what is some rule is there?
Yes, sir. You have to do in one hand only. You cannot touch in both hands. Like if you touch with both hands, then you have to pass.
Okay.
With 2.5 steps, you have to pass.
Okay. So, what were your optionals?
So geography and political science and international relation.
Political science and international relations.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, currently, what is the situation in Sri Lanka? There's some crisis going on.
Yes, sir. Sri Lanka President Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe, he has been sacked, and Mr. Rajapaksa, Mahindra Rajapaksa, who was previously the president, he was appointed as Prime Minister by Mr. Sirisena. So what happened is that recently the Parliament has been dissolved, and currently there is a state of crisis, in political crisis in Sri Lanka. Like this court intervention, and currently I think it is due for this Parliament voting. It is due for the voting, so that will decide.
Okay.
That will decide the fate of the government.
Recently, yesterday, riots are going on in a particular
France.
European country.
France.
What is the problem there? Why riots are started?
Sir, inflation, food crisis, and economic crisis only. Shortage of food, shortage of commodities, inflation.
For all these reasons.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, just recently.
Unemployment also.
Unemployment. Recently, one OPEC country has decided that it is going to leave OPEC. Which country is that?
Sir, Qatar. It has been, there was some news that by January 2019, it is about to leave OPEC.
Okay. And coming to Odisha, the second generation bioethanol plant is going to be set up.
Yes, sir.
In Odisha. Which district and what is the name of the place?
Sir,
First in India. That is from Noda, the rice straw they will be, taking out the.
first generation biofuel plant. Yes, sir.
That is in Bargarh.
Bargarh district.
Bargarh district, yes, certainly. Okay. So, you are already in a job. You
Yes,
tell
sir.
me, and since it is with ONGC, tell me something about your company. It is a Navaratna company or a Maharatna?
Sir, ONGC is a Maharatna company, and it is the largest profit-making public sector enterprise in India, and also it is 11th most 11 biggest company in Plate's world energy rankings, among the top 250 companies of the world, and it is basically in oil exploration and production. and crude oil and natural gas. So around 60% of the 60% of the oil in around 80% of the oil in India and 60% of the gas, it is being produced by ONGC, and it is basically upstream company, and ONGC is giving, after processing of crude oil and natural gas, ONGC is giving it to these downstream companies for marketing.
Okay. So, what are the major, areas according along the country where we have found petroleum oil?
Sir, it is most of the oil that is coming today is from Bombay High oil field. Except Bombay High, there are different oil fields in offshore like Basin and Satellite field, Tapti field, and also oil.
Which states there?
Sir, they are in offshore. They are in Arabian Sea. Arabian Sea in exclusive economic zone.
Not in Bay of Bengal.
Also, sir, I am coming, sir. In western part, this is there, and in the eastern part, it is in Krishna Godavari oil field, and also in Kaveri asset. It is called Kaveri asset, basically offshore of Karaikal district. There is oil field, and also in onshore, if we see in Assam also in places like Nazira, Sibsagar, Silchar, Jorhat, Digboy, these all places are there. Well, oil they found out. And coming to the western part in Rajasthan, also this Barmar oil field is there, and in Gujarat also Ankleshwar, Bharuch, Gandhar oil fields are there. So these are the places basically where India produces most of the oil.
Okay. What is, suppose you are not selected this time, and what will be your next step that you will take?
Sir, actually I have been working in ONGC for 7 years now. So I'll continue my job sincerely, and if again opportunity comes, I will try for that.
Okay. So,
Are you confirmed with the job of executive engineer?
Yes, sir. I mean,
Your next promotion,
my next promotion is in 2020, sir.
pardon?
In 2020, my next promotion.
To which post?
Sir, this deputy superintendent engineer, E3 post. Now I am in E2 executive.
ONGC is a very good company, and their
salary is also very good.
salary and pay packages and other
Yes, sir.
facilities are much more. Because I remember after independence of India, the salary of the ONGC and major ports are the highest in India. So later part that the major port could not maintain
Yes, sir.
that, but the ONGC is continuing the maintaining.
Yes, sir.
I think your chief executive gets the highest salary among all the public sector.
Yes, sir. That is true, sir. ONGC gives the highest salary among all the public sector. But sir, it's not that I am dissatisfied with working with ONGC. I have been contributing towards I am also contributing towards society by oil exploration, like that is also a part. But I think by coming to civil services, I can contribute more. Like I can be a part of society's development. I can directly impact people, and that is the major reason. And besides, there are a lot of challenges. This diversity of job, that is what which attracts me.
So, in geography, have you studied Lee's theory of migration?
Lee's theory. Yes, sir. In migration, there are different laws like Stoffer, Lee, and Lee says that when there are the intervening opportunities are more between the places, So
Okay,
there
that
is
is fine.
like between Delhi and Bombay before migration.
What is the difference between Pink and Davis approach to erosion? What is the difference? Pink has, he has given some other ideas. Davis has given some.
Yes,
other
sir.
ideas.
Davis has given slope development theory, and Penck has given slope related theory. Like Davis has said that it is this slope is a function of is a time based approach,
Okay.
like
that's fine.
precipitation.
What about formation of delta? What are the conditions required for formation of delta? All rivers don't form deltas, right?
Yes, sir. All rivers don't form delta, and basically delta it is suitable in the emerging coastline, and it has this water, the ocean current, it has to be lesser, and the sediment formation, if there are more finer sediments, there is more chances of a delta, and also the seas has to be calmer.
Which is the second largest or second longest river flowing in Odisha?
Sir, second, pardon me, second
Longest river,
second longest river. Second longest river is, sir, Brahmani River.
Brahmani River.
Brahmani River.
Okay. And what is the river, the main river flowing through Sundargarh?
Sir, Brahmani River only.
Brahmani River. Okay. There's a particular place where two rivers,
Two rivers meet, sir. This Sank and Koil. Sank and Koil, these two rivers meet at a place called Bedvyas. Bedvyas, and from there Brahmani emerges. It is in it is near Rourkela only. It is 15 kilometers from Rourkela.
Okay. So Sundargarh, what is the meaning of the name? Sundargarh, from where it has been derived?
Sir,
Very simple. Goda means a place mostly protected by the royal people.
yes, sir. Previously, it was there are two princely states, Banai and another place, which formed when Odisha the integration happened. Then this were integrated into place, and it was named Sundargarh.
Sundar means beautiful.
Beautiful.
So
It's a beautiful fort.
Beautiful royal place is called in Odia it is called Sundargarh.
Okay, yes, tell me some famous people from Sundargarh, apart from Dilip Tirke, hockey players, famous important people from Sundargarh.
Sir, our tribal minister, honorable tribal minister, Mr. Jwelloram, and sir, also this current MLA, Mr. Dilip Ray.
Okay, fine. They are the people's representatives from that area, that is fine. I'm talking about people like literary figures, poets, or you can say writers, doctors, engineers, of national and international repute.
Sir,
Okay, fine. So, what is, in your opinion, okay, what is for a civil servant, okay, or generally, not as a civil servant, but let's say as a common person, what is your opinion, which is more important, international peace and security, or what you can say humanity? Humanity is more important, or national interest is more important for you?
sir, national interest is more important. Actually, both are equally important. But if a situation arises, then national interest has to be given priority for with respect to a particular nation.
Okay. So you have taken political science as your subject.
Yes, sir.
So there you must have studied various theories. Okay. So can you tell me some of the theories of state who have propounded it? Theories of state. And first tell me what is a state and what are its constituents of the state.
Sir, state is a given territorial entity, and within which within which the constituent authority, it is called state. And
what are the components of the state?
Components of state are
One already you said territory.
Territory and
Population.
population. There is power also. Power also is a part of.
Who gave the theory of power? What is power in political science? Which thinker is associated with power?
Sir, I don't remember, sir.
Okay, just go through those parts. Okay, and you have studied about the various climatic classifications.
Yes, sir.
How many you have studied? How many types of classifications?
Sir, I have studied this Köppen's climatic classification, Thornberry's climatic classification, Trevartha's classification.
Okay. So Odisha, according to Köppen's, Odisha is basically, it will come under which classification?
Sir, Odisha comes under two types of climatic parts, and one is this humid, warm humid type of climate, and this other is savanna type of climate. So savanna type of climate, that is this AW, savanna type of climate, and also CAW, this is the subhumid type of climate. Also this mountainous highland is there, that is a different type, and this coastal areas has a different type.
Can you tell me what is the meaning of a mountain knot? Mountain knot,
Yes. Sir, mountain knot, like a normal knot, it is a particular place from which different mountains arise. In different direction, different mountains arise. Like one of the example I can tell is the Pamir knot. Pamir knot, and above this Karakoram, this is Pamir knot. From there, different type like Tien San, Altai San, this Himalayan mountains, and also in there is a Turkish, in Turkey there is a knot from which this like Pontin and Taurus it arises. So there are different type of.
In India,
mountain.
Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats meet at which point?
Sir, meet as the Nilgiris. Nilgiri, Annamalai, Kadamam, these mountains, western.
Okay. Right, so that will be the end of the interview.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.